Do actors come to you when they're thinking about joining the MCU and saying, like, what am I getting myself into?
Some do.
We have talked about Elizabeth Olsen before on this channel regarding her and her character, Scarlet Witch. At the time, she was slowly slipping out some secrets regarding what Marvel had done as far as not letting her use her stunt double when she felt uncomfortable doing certain stunts.
We loved what we were doing. We had so much fun doing it, but we really felt like it was either gonna, it might potentially ruin us all. But I think that's the stuff that feels the most fun to make, is when you feel like you could fail at any second.
And ever since then, she has appeared on the Happy Sad podcast, warning others about signing onto a movie deal, especially with Marvel. But before we get into all the details, I wanted to go back and see just what really goes into a Marvel contract. Of course, we know that actors can sign on to do multiple movies at once, so these actors know what's in store, way sooner than the creators even let on to us.
I've had some people ask about it.
What do you say? What's the stock kind of like?
Do you really want it?
Of course I do.
For example, if you remember that one interview with Tom Holland, when there were already rumors going around that there was a second Spider-Man film coming up, he slipped up and revealed that he had signed on for 3 total Spider-Man films. Contracts that actors sign when joining the MCU are very different from the usual agreements in show business. Instead of signing up for a single movie or series at a time, Marvel actors must initially sign a contract that outlines exactly how many films they will appear in as a main character.
Just give them one.
Leave some space for yourself.
No, yeah, just give them one. That's what I say.
Yeah.
However, unlike most contracts, this agreement also includes a clause that requires actors to appear in any MCU movie while the contract is still active. Other actors, even like Don Cheadle and Chris Evans, has said that they would be leaving, and it's apparent that Elizabeth Olsen isn't the only one leaving the MCU mega deals on the table. As we have seen with numerous interviews of hers, when she speaks about Marvel, it's clear that during some situations, she enjoys playing the character, but when it came to stunts and when producers didn't let her use a stunt double, especially when she was uncomfortable, that made her stray away from the MCU in general.
Meaning like one project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a commitment. And
and I think that way that you have more control over if you, let's say you're like, oh my God, this was the most fun I've ever had, and I love this character so much I want to do it again.
Elizabeth has played Wanda/Scarlet Witch more than half a dozen times now, but insisted that she will not be making a return, especially since she does not have a contract with Marvel even now. During this podcast, when she was on, she went on to explain kinda how she wasn't able to say no at first. I do think that when I started having job opportunities, when it wasn't just me auditioning for anything and everything, I didn't understand how to really say no to projects or how to decipher whether or not I should do a project or not. I didn't really have a plan, so it really does sound like she put her all into anything that was put in front of her, and when met with Marvel, obviously this was a really big company, so how could she turn it down?
You now have more creative control for the next one. It makes sense.
Yes.
Don't tell
Don't
tell Galuzzi that. Business affairs at Marvel.
Considering it would give her more representation in the film industry. It wasn't until she was midway through filming movies for Marvel that it grew tiring for her. She now has some advice for people who want to join this big franchise with, quote, just give them one. The 34-year-old said she came up with the advice as a result of some of her fellow actors asking her about possibly joining Disney's cash cow. Olsen stated that joining the MCU on a movie-by-movie basis allows an actor to have more control over the trajectory of their career as well as more control creatively.
Well, like, yeah, and I'm not asking you for info on this because this is just a rumor floating around right now. But for instance, speaking of the world's smartest man, the rumor is that Adam Driver is going to play that character.
What?
I know, which would be insane.
Wait, but why did John do it?
Well, John, I think...
because different multiverses?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
At the time, Marvel's contract included being tied down to multiple movies or even TV shows with a certain amount of seasons pre-planned. For the actor or actress to sign on for many, many years, promising themselves to these characters. Captain America actor Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. were given 6 movie contracts to sign when they joined Disney's fledgling superhero experiment. If 6 movies sounds like a big commitment, it's nothing compared to the 9 pitches feature deals signed by Samuel L. Jackson and Sebastian Stan. And this is true for something as big as Marvel, as they tend to put out many films and series in just the span of 1 year, and they plan ahead quite far. As of last year, Marvel has decided to do away with the lengthy 6 to 9 movie deals. Marvel is focused on shorter contracts. Oscar Isaac's MCU contract only contained Moon Knight Season 1, for instance, which means Marvel Studios will have to renegotiate with him if they want to make a second season, a movie, or have Moon Knight appear in another project. Under the old contracts, the careers of actors involved in the franchise essentially belonged to Marvel Studios, considering they were tied down for so long. But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What are your thoughts on all of this, and did you think Olsen was treated a little bit unfairly throughout her career with Marvel and everything they asked of her? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.